Two, one. Huh. I actually don't know how I want to start this podcast. Well, welcome back, everybody. People of the internet, friends, family, um, rando that found this video. Welcome back to another episode of Stuff You Should Care About with Jared. This is the podcast where we talk about real topics that real people want to hear, such as you. Of course, it's directed towards Gen Z. It's supposed to help my friends out who see too much information on TikTok and don't actually know what's going on. But I'm back. Okay, I know I've been gone. I've been on a hiatus. Crazy past 2 weeks with March Madness with CBS and finals and crap like that. But I just finished up my last two finals today. I'm working on two projects now, and then that's it for the rest of the summer. Of course, I've got summer classes and an internship and stuff like that. But we're back, baby. We're back. I'm gonna have more time to record some podcasts, and I have a damn good show for you guys today. Oh, do I have a damn good show for you? We're gonna cover a few topics: Florida social media ban, Instagram hiding political content from you, the Do Not Call Registry, which has changed my life, has made me a happier human being today. Maybe quitting League of Legends would do that as well. But we're also going to talk about the FISA, why that matters to you. And of course, the big topic that I want to cover today is going to be the protest going on around college campuses, my thoughts about it, the legality behind it, and why you should care about it in the first place. So, without further ado, welcome to the podcast, everybody. As always, please don't take me too seriously. You don't know me in real life. You don't know my full political opinion. You don't know the type of person that I am in real life. So, take my opinions with a grain of salt. I will do my due diligence to separate my facts from opinions here. And welcome back to another episode of Stuff You Should Care About with Jared. Let's hop right into it, guys. All right. So, for the first topic that I want to talk about today on the pod. Okay. Follow me here, guys. You've got to follow me. So, first and foremost, I will talk about a few conspiracy theories on this podcast. This is not one of them, but I do want to preface now that I will be talking about a few conspiracy theories. Okay. Just got a message. Sorry, that was so rude of me, but I had to got plans after this, so I'm trying to record this podcast real fast. And today is May 1st. Happy May, everybody. It's no longer Aries season. I turned 22 though, so happy late birthday to me. But let's get into this pod. So, first and foremost, on March 25th, I know this is a little bit of old news. I was supposed to record this way back when, but I think it's pretty relevant. It's something that you should definitely care about. Ron DeSantis signed a ban on social media accounts for minors under the age of 14. So, what does this mean? Happening on January 1st, 2025. The Florida servers will no longer host accounts or let you into accounts or let people make accounts who are 14 and younger. How are they going to do this? With age verification. I doubt they're going to have any type of IG check or ID check or anything like that. So, it is probably completely discretionary up to the individual on whether they're going to put that information in or not, put it in truthfully. But they are banning accounts for individuals 14 and younger. So if you're on TikTok or on Instagram or anything like that, and you're a youngster who lives in Florida, come January 1st, 2025, your account, you will no longer be able to access your account. Why do I think this is important? Because Florida is the first state in the entire United States to put a ban on social media for young youth. I work in social media. The majority of my professional career has been in social media marketing. I would say that I'm pretty familiar with the space. I do not think, this is just my opinion here, okay? I do not think that social media is healthy for youth, especially here in the United States. I can only speak on kids in the United States. for a multitude of reasons. Mental health issues, social anxiety issues. I mean, when you are constantly, and then someone says hello to you, I mean, like, what are you supposed to do? Like, text them? No, 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 no. Like, when someone walks through the door, like, if a pretty girl walks through the door, you can't sit there and look her up on IG and then send her a DM or something like that. No, you're going to have to talk to her. Wow, what a crazy thing. No, you're going to actually have to communicate with people. When you get into a job interview, you're not going to sit there and send each other emails or text messages. You're going to have your face cam on and talking to people. Now, I know that doesn't seem scary for a lot of people, but when you don't interact with other people, you miss out on conversations, you miss out on learning new words, on learning new things. So I think that this is a very productive thing. I honestly think it's very progressive. I'd even go as far to say is that I don't think that it is. I don't think that it's like blocking people from getting information, because these are youth, 14 and younger. The brain has your cerebral cortex has not even begun to mature yet. Like, yeah, it's you're somewhat there. Like, I don't know who you think you are if you're out having sex and doing drugs at 14 years old, but you're not an adult yet. You can't buy alcohol, you can't buy a gun, you can't even drive a car. You can't drive a car till you're 16 years old. So just saying, I have no problem with this. I think it's a very positive and progressive piece of legislation that has been pushed through Florida, and I would honestly love to see. I don't know. I don't know at a federal level, because I do believe in autonomy between states. Florida does its own thing. If you don't like Florida's rules, move to California. That's why we have different states and different regions, right? People can believe what they want to believe, but I would like to see a few more states implement this. I don't know, Texas. I don't know if that's possible, just because we have so many youth here, so many families. A lot of different people from different demographics and backgrounds and stuff like this. I don't know if Texas voters would ever agree on this, but I would definitely love to see a few more states implement this, and just see where this goes, because I think it's a very positive thing for youth, for them not to be on social media, for them not to be rotting their brains and causing themselves extra anxiety for people who aren't even there, right? It's not only making them worse in conversation, but it's also making them worse online, because you just got all this anxiety and you're comparing yourself to other people, and people only put on social media what they want you to see. So I think this is a super positive and progressive piece of legislation that more states should look at implementing. All right. On this same note of talking about social media, my next headline for you guys, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Instagram has limited your ability to see political content. So, a few updates ago, I know this was 5 weeks ago, so bear with me, guys. This podcast is late, but I think some of this information is still relevant, because this change and this was an update, a shadow update that Instagram, they didn't say anything about. Okay, this didn't, like, unless you follow this page or looking at headlines and stuff like that, it didn't say anything about this one. All right, Chief. So when you go to your content preferences, political content is set to limit by default. You need to go there and change it to don't limit, because you know what that means? That means that you can't see political stuff. Like, if it's limited, if your political content, and maybe you're someone who doesn't care about politics, you're not voting. Okay, this segment isn't for you, okay? Anyone who votes, you need to see this stuff. Because if you let them limit what you can and can't see, that's political content, then all of a sudden you have allowed them to pigeonhole you, okay? To pigeonhole you into an echo chamber where you're only going to see liberal crap. Or if you're a conservative, you're only going to see a conservative crap. I don't believe in that. Okay, I don't believe in this bipartisan government that we have, where you either vote straight conservative or straight liberal, and all your friends have to be liberals or all your friends have to be conservatives. No. Screw that. You think I want everyone in my personal life to think the exact same thing that I do? It would drive me crazy if all of my friends agreed with me all the time. I would, like, if you're someone who all of your friends have to agree with you all the time, then you need to get your freaking priorities straight, and you need to rethink of the way that you live your life, because I'll just tell you right now, that's a very negative way to live. Just to live in this echo chamber where everyone just agrees with you, that's got to be some type of narcissism or psychotic. Like, it's got to be some type of something out there, right? But look for different opinions and different views, even if you don't agree with them. By allowing Instagram to limit the amount of views and opinions that you can see on your Instagram feed, you are now letting them censor you. They are censoring the amount of media that you can consume and the type of media that you consume. This stuff is important. You should care if Donald Trump puts out a crazy tweet. You should care if Joe Biden trips off a stage. This is the next president of the United States of America we're talking about here. Okay. Not only that, but at just a state and a local level, you don't want to miss a post if the Democrat that you're going to vote for mayor all of a sudden said the N-word and you can't see it because you got political content that's being blocked and you vote for him. And I know this is a hypothetical, but then, 3 days later you see it on the news. Like, dude, come on. Don't let them censor you. You have a choice. Okay. So go on Instagram, go to content preferences in your settings, and then it'll be political content, and then you want to set it to don't limit, okay? So first, tap the little things on top of your profile, scroll down to content preferences, click political content, and click don't limit. So you can see cool podcasts like this. Hell yeah, because this podcast is getting black flagged and no one's ever going to see it because, why? I'm talking about politics, and they don't want to talk about politics, especially the real stuff like I talk about. All right. I know. You guys wanted to hear it. You guys want to know about the riots and the protests. I'm getting there. This right here has changed my life. I did this about 3 weeks ago, so it's the National Do Not Call Registry. Look it up, and you just submit your phone number. And now your phone number is on a list of people. It's a list of people that when like nonprofit organizations or companies or telemarketers or anyone like that, they have to oblige by this list. And if your name and phone number is on this list, legally they cannot call you. Okay? If they still call you anyway, it's illegal. I don't have no answers for that. But I can attest, I have had less spam calls. I used to get spam called like 4 times a week. So there was one week where I felt like I got spam called like every freaking day. So this right here has changed the game for me. Okay. I don't get the spam calls. I still get the spam calls from out of the country. They don't have to oblige by our national do not call list, but at least the companies in the States do. So go ahead, check this out, guys. Look it up. National Do Not Call Registry. Add your phone number to this. I mean, if you think that they're going to steal your information's already been stolen. All right. So if anything, this is just protecting your sanity and protecting your peace. Okay. Moving on. The FISA. What is this? And this is going to tie into the next segment about the protest and the protests and the riots going on college campuses here in the United States. Okay, so this is the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. Okay, originally published in 1978. The point of this was to allow the federal government to legally spy on you. Okay, the point was so they could have surveillance over private citizens in the United States to thwart off domestic terrorism. Okay, so what they mean by that is they legally can tap into phone lines and email data and text message data if they think that you have the potential of committing a terrorist attack here in the United States. So, pretty much if someone comes into its intention is for foreign assailants who make it into the United States or a foreign agent who makes it into the United States to where the federal government can have surveillance on them before something bad happens. Framed like that, it's a positive thing. Okay? In practicality and the way that it's been implemented, the government's freaking spying on you. Okay? This is my tinfoil hat. I'll admit that. The government has not gone out and said specifically that they're spying on you, but essentially the government has the right to spy on you because of this act. Okay. Why is this important? know I can't type. Please don't be mad at me, guys. I can't type for shit. Oh, I swore. I'm sorry. Okay. Why is this important? Because the federal government and federal agencies, specifically in New York and in Texas and all these states, in Wisconsin, these states where students are protesting and rioting the war in in Gaza, okay, they are using it to call these protests violent protests, and they are using this to call these protests, um, riots essentially. And I can't blame them. And let me explain. So I'm going to tie it all the way back into the FISA. Okay. Truth be told, the people in Columbia, at Columbia University, had it coming for them. Okay. From a legal standpoint, they legally were not allowed to be out there. I know that there's a lot of nuances, such as what happened in UT. I think it was in UT. My friend was telling me this, where the protesters were in the protest area, like the specified protest area, and then the police with riot shields pushed them off onto the not protest area. And as soon as they were not in the official protest area, they arrested them. So, I mean, I'm not saying I agree with that. One thing I would like to say about the police officers is please don't go blaming any particular police officer. Now, I know there are some police officers with just hate out there in their heart, and they just can't wait to get out there and beat the shit out of a little kid, okay, out of a 22-year-old dude who's holding up a sign calling for anti-war. I know that there's some bad dudes out there. They are 1%, okay? Remember, those are 1% of the police population. Most of these police officers are just following orders, okay? These decisions have been made before they even got there. The protocol that they were supposed to do was made before they even got there. They're just following orders. So don't go saying defund the police and blah, 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 and they're all racist and the police don't want us to protest. If you probably talk to some of these police officers, they're probably anti-war just like you, but they have a freaking job to do, okay? And so they have to follow orders. And if they don't do their orders, and they're going to get fired, and they're going to have a meeting, you know what I mean? So don't blame the police. They're just following orders. Blame the people way up above, okay? There's a chain of command in these things. There's people who make decisions, and it's not that police officer that's pushing you off the protest green, okay? It's not them. Don't blame them. It's not their fault. It's the people above them's fault. Okay, first thing I want to talk about. Second thing I want to talk about. These protesters legally don't have a right to be out there. Let me explain why, and let me tell you guys, if you are one of these protesters that has stumbled across this video, what you should be doing so you don't have a problem anymore. So, on conservative media, they are not being called protesters. If you look at the headlines from Fox and stuff like that, they're saying that they are rioters. They're saying that they are hooligans, okay? They're saying that they are misinformed youth, okay? When you talk to 60% of these people who are out there who are chanting these things that are not protected by the First Amendment, so First Amendment freedom of speech, okay, except if you are saying something that is harmful in nature or can incite violence or is violent against another individual or has the potential to incite violence onto another individual, your speech is no longer protected by the First Amendment, okay? That's why, threats aren't protected by the First Amendment. That's why if you go to a store and you cuss the clerk out and you say, I'm going to beat your A and you better not step to me and I'm calling my mans. He's coming with his gun and he going to kill you and this and this and that. You start tripping out. Yes, they have a right to call the police, and yes, the police can arrest you, and yes, you can be prosecuted for those threats, okay? Those are not protected by the First Amendment. So let me tell you what these protesters are doing wrong. I've been using an analogy to explain this. You have 1,000 protesters out there. 999 of them are anti-war. That's me personally. That's where I stand, just so you know. I'm anti-war. I don't want the war in Ukraine going on. I don't want the war in Gaza going on. The loss of life is the loss of life, okay? If you're trying to frame me right now as somebody who's, pro-Israel or pro-Russia, I'm not, okay? I don't want war. The Catholic Church doesn't support war, and neither do I, okay? Nevertheless, these protesters aren't doing it right. Because you have 999 people out there who are just like me, okay, who want anti-war. They just want the wars to stop. They want decoupling from Israel because they see that they're a violent state, okay? I agree with that sentiment. But from those 999, you have one individual who stands out there with a sign that says "From the river to the sea," and they say "Hang all the Jews," and they are pro-Hamas, not pro-Palestine, okay? Not pro-Gaza. They are pro-Hamas, which is a very, very big nuance because there's a difference, okay? There's a difference between being pro-Israel and being pro-IDF. That's the Israel Defense Force, okay? There's also a difference between being pro-Palestine and being pro-Hamas. Me personally, I'm pro-Israel, so I'm pro for the people of Israel because those are individuals and their rights need to be protected, and I am pro-Palestine. That's the people of Palestine. I am pro for the people of Palestine. I want life to be protected. I don't want the whole that whole bloodline to get wiped out, okay? Genocide is not okay. It's never okay, okay? I am not pro-IDF. I do not support Benjamin Netanyahu. I do not support his policies. I do not support the offenses that he's making against the Palestinian people. And I'm also not pro-Hamas. Hamas is an internationally recognized terror organization. Okay? They are a terror organization. So you need to decouple from your brain what being pro-Palestine means and pro-Hamas. Being pro-Hamas is similar to being pro-Israel, no matter which way, shape, or form you look at it, okay? So the issue is that you have 999 people who are pro-Palestine and pro-Israel. They are pro-human life. They are anti-war. You have one motherfucker out there who is pro-Hamas and is saying "From the river to the sea." The United States government is using the FISA to look at people's social medias, track the group chats that people are talking in to organize these protests, and all it takes is for them to see one person in there go "From the river to the sea," and all of a sudden the entire protest goes up into shambles. Okay, it's no longer protected by the First Amendment. It's hate speech. It's calling for violence against Jewish students. It's calling for violence against Jewish Americans. Okay, because "From the river to the sea" calls for violence against Jewish Americans, against Jews, okay? It's anti-Semitism, no matter which way, shape, or form you look at it. "From the river to the sea" is anti-Semitic. Saying "let's go Hamas" is anti-Semitic. Saying "let's go Palestine" is not, okay? That is not anti-Semitic. And I'm not a Jewish person, and I'm sorry, and I'm only quoting from what I've heard and the research that I've done, okay? Being pro-Palestine is not anti-Semitic. Being pro-Hamas is. So, where are these protesters going wrong? By allowing that one individual to stand with all 999 of them, now the police and the federal government, who have looked at their information and tracked their group chats, can say, "Yeah, no, this is not protected by the First Amendment. No, let's just go arrest them all, body slam them against the concrete. They're terrorists." Okay, so what should they do? What they should do is that one person who's holding up the sign "From the river to the sea" and the one person who is pro-Hamas, what they need to do is they need to go, him over there, go get him. He's not one of us. He doesn't believe what we believe. He's not anti-war. He doesn't believe in peaceful protest. And so have the police go arrest him, separate him from them, and then, or whoever they are, separate them from the rest of us. And now all 999 of us can go frolic into the sunset and protest peacefully and say anti-war as much as we want to. As long as they are protecting and allowing for there to be a pro-Hamas movement here in the United States, as long as they are protecting and allowing individuals in their protest to have anti-Semitic remarks, and let's just be honest. Like, these people have attacked Jewish students. They are making an unsafe environment for Jewish students. Like, in New York, there's a rabbi who was telling Jewish students, "Don't go to campus because it's dangerous and you might die if you go there. You might get attacked." That's not okay. That's like a freaking lynch mob. When was it okay to lynch Jewish people? It's not. That's not okay. I don't know who you are. I don't care who you are. That's not okay. It's never going to be okay. All right? So, if you are truly anti-war like you say you are, take this stance with me, brother or sister or they them. We need to be pro-Palestine and pro-Israel, not pro-IDF and pro-Hamas. To the protester that's out here, please, please, I would go out there with you too. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I would protest too if I knew that y'all were protesting the right thing. But these protests that I'm seeing, they're not for the right cause. They're not the right thing. They're not protected by the First Amendment because it's calling for violence against other Americans. So, do I blame the police? No, I don't blame the individual police officers. They're just following their job. Who do I blame? Congress. Congress could shut all of this down. All right. But they're getting paid by Israelis. They are getting paid by the Chinese. Okay. They're getting paid by Mark Zuckerberg. Okay. So Congress isn't pulling the strings. The powers that be are. So until the powers that be can agree that war is not productive for human society and we should all be peaceful and come to look, I truly believe that there is a peaceful resolution to all conflict, that you can negotiate out of every conflict. There is no reason to go to war. There is no justification for the loss of human life, period, on either side of the conflict. So I call on our members of Congress, I call on the President of the United States, and I call on the United Nations to bring an end to the wars across the world. That's it. That's all I've got for you guys today. I don't even know how long this episode was. I feel like I really started cooking on this last segment. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate you watching. To my friends, if you just flat out disagree with me, please, I would love to hear it. Text me, call me, let me know. After you listen to this pod, just call me, and we'll chat about it. We can share opinions, we can share facts, and have a friendly debate. I'd really, really love it. Until then, guys, this has been Stuff You Should Care About with Jared. This podcast is recorded for my uncle, mom, dad, brothers, friends, family. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like always, I'll always finish with this. You guys don't know me. You don't know my full political opinion. You don't know me in real life. So please don't judge me too harshly. But this has been Stuff You Should Care About with Jared. Maybe episode 9? I don't know. Okay. But I'm going to try and get this pod up for you guys as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe down below. Take care and peace, people. I killed that one. That was great.